first of hopefully many of these little chats that have been arranged courtesy of Forge FC. And we are going to be speaking with Tristan Borges, the man that you all know, star striker and fan favorite player with Forge FC, Tristan Borges. He is just waiting in the waiting room. We're about to bring him in. So we got a bunch of questions to ask. We're just going to have a little chat with him, getting ready for the upcoming season, the CPL season. And we got a bunch of your questions here too. So we're going to be asking him a bunch of the questions that you submitted over the last week or so. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring him into the meeting here. And there he is. Hey, Tristan, how you doing?
Good. I'm good, guys.
Yeah, I just gave you a brief little intro to the group, so they've all been waiting patiently. Thank you for joining us this evening. I wanted to say first half, this is the first of these kind of interviews that hopefully we're going to be doing in the Forge group going forward, just sort of very casual, get to know you kind of stuff. We're not really going to be getting really too in depth in anything. But, you know, we were just discussing just prior to coming on here that you got a bit of a break happening right now, which is one of the first things they wanted me to ask, like, when do you guys get back into training? Like, when does the preseason start for you guys? Because we know we just finished up the little Champions League, couple of games that you had. So you're traveling down to Mexico and that, and now you're in a bit of a break. So when do you guys get back into training, and what are you looking forward to once you get back to training?
We should be getting back soon. We're getting our schedule roughly soon, probably in the next couple of days. We should be getting back into training next week. But yeah, just kind of just like I already told you that, yeah, just having a little bit of a break. You know, last year was already kind of heavy enough. We started up a little bit early because of CONCACAF, but obviously seeing the results, you know, we worked hard for those games. We did well. We showed out well. But just knowing how long the season is going to be again, I guess it was just, you know, the decision from the coaches and the staff, which I think we needed it. I think it was well deserved. And just to kind of, you know, let loose a little bit, relax, spend time with family, you know, and get back into it soon whenever we do. And it's full throttle once we start. Right. So soon, it should be soon, because we do know that, or at least I've seen, you know, a lot of the teams around the league have started training too. So it's time to get back to it soon.
Absolutely. And you've definitely got some new players on the squad, some young players, some veteran players, kind of getting it mixed up. A lot of transfers happening in the league, a lot of new players with moving around from team to team. Who are you looking forward to this year? Like, you know, we've seen sort of what's been happening around the league, and we're starting to see everybody kind of amp up their squads, that they're bringing back some veteran players, and everybody's got access to a lot of young guys. Like, who are you seeing this year as being your, I guess, one or two top teams that really offer your competition this year? Like in the past, it's been Cavalry, and Pacific was really strong last year. In this coming year, like, who do you think is your main competition going into this year?
I think it's difficult to say, to be honest. I think it's also what you said, you know, there's been a lot of moves, looking around the league, looking at teams. You know, some teams make more moves than others. We've also learned that the past couple of years. But to be honest, one thing that I've learned just myself, being those first couple of years before last year, and even the year when I was away, and I saw was, obviously there's a lot of thoughts on how people think, you know, the teams are going to look and how they're going to be based on the signings. But it's, you know, things can change during the season, whether it's injuries, whether it's, you know, the chemistry between the team, and a lot of factors to it. I don't know. I would say it's difficult to kind of pick, you know, one specific team or any specific individuals, anything like that. Like, obviously me individually, I'm excited with the new players that we've had, obviously bringing in a few players as well from Pacific. It's nice to get into training with them and, you know, start to gel already. But I think anybody that kind of enters our locker room knows, you know, what the standards are once they come in, and, you know, and I think it's quickly, like, it's a quick adjustment that they need to make. And I think it's something that they want to also make, right? But just me being there already, looking at the environment that we've always had since day one, it's just an exciting time again, going into another year, high expectations. You know, we already started well with CONCACAF, but for me, I know the fans already know how I am, you know, how I approach it. It's all about winning for me. You know, I don't really like to focus too much on the outside things in terms of what other teams are getting and stuff like that. I always just try to, you know, look more at myself and what I can do for the team and how our team is. But, you know, one thing I can say is it's a lot of motivation going into this year, knowing what happened last year.
Absolutely, yeah. And you mentioning yourself, you had some time away, like you're still on loan from Belgium. One of the questions that we did get from one of the fans in the group was, what kind of experience did you take from there? What did you learn from your time there playing in Europe? What kind of things did you bring back with you to the CPL? Have you changed sort of your training routines or the way that you approach games as a result? Just in general, what was your experience like in Belgium while you were playing there?
Yeah, no, those are good questions. For me, it's, I've been saying it even from the first time when I went to Holland. It's, I really appreciate the experience, just being able to experience that environment and those kinds of environments and just it being different, right? I'm constantly growing, to be honest, as a player, whether it's, technically or physically, anything like that, right? It's just, learning day by day, learning to get better, trying to be a better player, trying to be a better professional all around, right, on and off the field. Um, Obviously, it's a different kind of environment. Me going there, it's a quality team. They're doing well. They brought in a lot of quality players. For me, it's just kind of, looking at everything, sitting back and looking how I can learn, like I said, as a player on and off the field. I think that's something that I for sure did. Everything's an experience. I always look at the positive and the negatives, but whatever negative it is or anything that might have been a little bit more difficult or maybe didn't go my way, I just look at it and I try to learn from it and try to differently, right? Like I know me as myself, I have my individual goals going into this year, going into the loan that I have here, and it's obviously high. For me, it's just I just want to be able to win. That's for me, that's my always, that's the number one goal for me, no matter what. And whatever I can do, it's that's what I'm going to strive for. But there's a lot of things for me individually that I look at and I take away from that experience, just being around great players, mentally just smart players. And I think that's something really I should, really focus on and just trying to implement that into my game, just the smarts, right? In terms of, because the rest I know I can do myself and physically and just get better and better and better with all the work. But just being a student of the game is something that I'm really learning. And that's something I want to excel in.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we've seen that too. I've been a fan since year one. I'm a co-founder, like a lot of the guys in the group, and definitely can see that you're. I mean, I've been able to see just as a fan, you growing as a player. You're much more a playmaker now. You're getting guys set up, and you're being involved that way, as well as being a scoring threat as well. We'd love to see you take shots on net. I mean, it's always exciting for us, of course. And definitely we want to see you guys win. For me personally, as long as you beat the guys in Calgary, as long as you beat Calgary, that makes me happy. You can lose against everybody else, but as long as you beat them, I'm very happy myself. But yeah, definitely want to see you bring the trophy back again, go to Pacific, go out there and bring the plate back home, because we really like that there. We were there, like I said, I know as a fan, talking to all the guys there, all of us were there in that first year when you came back on the team bus. We greeted the team. Me and my kids were there as part of that celebration, and we really want to be part of the team that way again, to support you guys and be as part of that celebration as well. Going back to, again, just game experiences, yeah, another one of the questions that came in from Christopher in the group. Like I said, you just finished a Champions League couple games. You had one here at home and one down in Mexico at the Azteca. As a fan, thinking about taking a trip down to the Azteca is just would be a highlight of your footballing career kind of thing. What was that experience like for you, going into like such a storied stadium, knowing that Pelé and Maradona both raised the World Cup in that stadium, and all the different teams that had played there? What's the experience as a player going there, getting ready for the game? I know you said you like to sort of shut everything else out that's outside, but once you're there, it's kind of hard. You know where you are and you see the history there. How did you approach that game? What was the experience like, and what did you take away from that?
A lot of excitement. I'm not gonna try to play it down or act like it wasn't what it is, but honestly, those are moments where it's difficult to really explain, unless you're there. Obviously, leading up to it, it's more focused on the game, understanding what we need to do, and after us already playing them, we knew what we're also capable of, and just going into the game, staying calm, and all of that stuff. But just individually, it was definitely a blessing to be, to step on that field and to be able to play against them. Them as a club, Cruz Azul, like a lot of history with that club as well, right? So very, very proud of the guys, very proud of what we did. Just to show what we did is unbelievable. A couple of years of this league being existent, this club, what it's already done is unbelievable. The fact that I'm a part of it is something special, but that's just something, I can look back in 15, 20 years, and I can say that, I played in that pitch. Obviously there's a lot of dreams to still go at, but yeah, it was honestly nothing but excitement. I think the guys started to realize it right after the game, and we had a few minutes to kind of cool down once we're in the locker room and realize how it was. But it's something that we're all proud of as a team. Individually, with coaching staff, like what we accomplished is very, very good, and I'm sure a lot of other teams in the CPL would have loved to be in that position. So we did very well, but that's something I'll for sure remember for the rest of my life.
Oh, for sure. And except from the fan perspectives, I know we were all super excited for you guys, watching you guys play here and there. And definitely you represented yourselves really well, and you represented us, of the city and the CPL really well. Both matches were really hard fought, and you could see that you guys just left it all out there on the pitch. And we're just, not to throw shade in anybody else's team, but you did much better than Montreal did. Like they're in tough too. They just played their game against Cruz Azul.
Yeah.
But I think you guys showed a little bit more. I think you guys did a little bit better, and that's just me being biased, being a fan. But I think you guys did really well. But in going along with that, we have another question from the fans, from Christopher too. Again, so like you're trying to focus on the game and stuff. The question that he has is, do you have a pre-match routine? So do you have like a playlist that you listen to? Is there something that you do before the games? Has that changed over time? Is it different when you're playing like here at home in the CPL versus when you were in the CONCACAF games last year? So what do you do to get ready for the game, like in the couple of days leading up to the game, on match day? Like what's sort of the behind the scenes stuff that's happening there?
Well, anybody that's close to me, they really know I'm a big family person. One thing that's always it's part of my routine every single, like, no matter what, every game, and whether I'm there, whether I'm here, is I always speak to my family before the games every single time. And whether it's my father or my mother, most of the time it's all of them. FaceTime, I'm always speaking with them. But in terms of music, I love music. I listen to mostly anything. I have a few favorite artists, obviously, but I'm pretty open to that. I like to also be in chat with my teammates, get the feel of how everybody's feeling. Obviously nerves are always there, but I always reiterate that nerves are a good thing, right? It's good to be nervous. It means that you're into it, you're focused, you understand how important the game is, right? And it shows that you care, right? So for me, I was never one to like shy away from the nerves. I understand how big games are and how big it could get for individually, for players and for teams. But for me, just one thing that no matter what will never change, no matter how long my career is, no matter where I play, is definitely always speaking with my family before the game. So whether it's a phone call, it's a FaceTime, a couple hours before, just like to call them just to see how they're doing, and just to kind of get a conversation. And normally when I'm at home, if I'm at home, I'm blessed to be at home, it's usually I'll spend more time with them, whether it's going for lunch or going for breakfast, if the game is at night and stuff like that. But it's definitely family oriented.
That's excellent. I mean, we know, again, we were just talking before, and if you check up your record online, we know that you grew up in the Vaughan area, so you're local to the GTA here. And we know, like, I was gonna just pull up this one here. We actually had some of the fans share some photos here, so I got one here for you, and that. So just getting this started here. And this comes from Ricardo Ramos. This is Ricardo and his son, Matthew. If there is a super fan at Forge, it is Matthew. They are there every single home game cheering you guys on. They're doing pregame, halftime, after game selfie photos with anybody that wants to come by. But they did share this one special photo with you from earlier on. There was a day that
I remember that.
That's great. You guys were signing autographs that day, and the story that he told was basically they were like the third one in line when they announced that that was it for the autographs and that kind of thing. But you stuck around. You made sure that everybody in the line got their autographs, took the picture, And according to Matthew, you have been his favorite player ever since. So we love that, you love the community. And like you said, you're trying to be a professional on and off the pitch. And for myself, all I can say is that, like I mentioned, this team, I've said from the very beginning, it could be the most mediocre team in the CPL, but as long as they're a part of the community, and I know you guys did a lot of stuff with the grassroots, like the younger teams and that sort of thing prior to COVID and that sort of thing. Are you guys looking at getting back into doing that sort of thing, or has that been discussed at all? I know it goes through, the team and player relations and stuff. And it's something that Bob Young, the caretaker Young, carried over from the TICAT organization, just really being involved. And I know a number of different players from Forge came to West Hamilton and Mount Hamilton youth teams, McMaster Children's Hospital and that sort of thing, and really being involved in the community, which we really appreciate. I mean, we cannot understate how important it is to have a team like Forge in the city, what that means to the fans, what it means to the city. And we really appreciate you guys have been above and beyond just gentlemen and just great with the fans and great for the community. So thank you to all that sort of stuff. I wanted to make sure I got that in there before we got away. But have you had those discussions with the team? Have they mentioned that you're gonna, now that the restrictions are being lifted sort of across the province, that you're gonna get back to that kind of thing? Or do you know anything about that yet? Or
Well, to be honest, just to start off, I think the thank you comes from us, to be honest, as the players, as the staff, but just us as a team, we appreciate you guys. I've said it since the first day. I remember one of the first interviews that I had, that I knew we were going to have the best fan base. I still believe it. I know it'll always be like that, but I'm a very, very big, I don't even know. It's hard for me to explain it, but when it comes to fans, I like to really show my appreciation for it, because we wouldn't be where we are without the fans, right? It's the unbelievable support that we've had from you guys has been remarkable. And the best thing that we can do, which I say it, I don't know what happened there, okay? Which I say it every single time, is to just try to win a championship. But that's actually something that for sure we've always been talking about. It's unfortunate with COVID, right? We haven't been able to interact the way we want to, but I'm really looking forward to this year, to be honest, because I can see a lot of the restrictions as of right now are starting to be lifted, and all these talks, again, we're kind of in the preseason. We haven't really been around too much, right? Like this CONCACAF was a couple weeks, but now we actually get a proper preseason. I know that's definitely something that our media team is going to be discussing with us. A lot of events that we're probably going to be able to go to, and I'm going to do my best to be at probably every single one, right? So that's something that I love to do. I love to interact with the fans. I love to be in the community. I wish I also lived a little bit closer, right? It's unfortunate that it's over an hour away, but as much as I can, I love to be involved in the community work. Anything that Forge wants to be a part of, I love to be a part of as well. So first year was very exciting, and I'm just hoping that we can kind of get back to normality this year with a lot of the interaction with the fans.
Perfect. And we'd love to have you. I know the Barton Street Battalion is going to be organizing a ton of events going forward. I'm sure Forge as an organization is going to have a bunch of things going on. The kickoff is at the end of the month at the Canadian Warplane Museum here in Hamilton and Mount Hope. So we look forward to seeing a bunch of guys there at that event, the kickoff for the season, plus revealing the new kits on the new uniforms and that sort of thing going forward. So that's going to be a lot of fun. One of the other questions that came in that I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, as you were growing up, so aside from wanting to play for your local team and aside from wanting to play for Canada, which you did as a youth player as well, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that. What was your favorite team? And then once you sort of started playing soccer yourself, what was that dream team that you always wanted to play for? If you could pick any team in the world, what was that team?
So to be honest with you, I have more of a story towards that. Growing up, obviously people know that I'm Portuguese, so obviously favorite player was always Ronaldo growing up, and Manchester United and things like that. So I was and I still am, but a good fan of Manchester United. But I still remember this when I was younger, that I had a little shift in heart on who was my favorite player, and it was actually the finals against Barcelona against Man U when Messi scored the header. And after watching that game, there was something in me that fell in love with the way Messi was playing, and ever since then, he's just always been my favorite player, one that I looked up to and one I inspired to be. And since then, I wasn't really I didn't really have like a favorite team that I always followed. Obviously, it was Barcelona just because Messi played for them, but since kind of that moment, I've always kind of just been a favorite player kind of guy, and it was always Messi. But if I were to say just kind of a club that I grew up watching a little bit more, it was more Manchester United. But I haven't really followed too much as of right now. I kind of watch all kinds of leagues now, just again going back to just learning and kind of getting the mental part of it. But just growing up, it was more of just a favorite player, and that was Messi.
Awesome. That's amazing. And so we're getting to towards the end here. I know we don't have a ton of time left, so we got some rapid fire questions for you. So I'll give you these questions, and just off the top of your head, let me know. A lot of these are going to be, or just a few of them anyways, but so here we go. So on the team, who has the worst taste in music?
Oh, okay. Now you guys are asking me these questions. On the team, who has the worst taste in music? Oof. Yeah.
You could pick a name out of a hat for you if you want.
No, I'm gonna say Garvin. I'm gonna say Garvin. I have to.
There you go. We'll get Garvin in there. Okay. Hey, that's fair. I'll ask him, and he'll probably ask you. Probably pick you then. On the team, again, coming from the fans. I didn't pick these questions. I just got them from the fans. Who is the funniest or biggest prankster on the team?
Okay, so this is a good question. I'm gonna be honest. I would say throughout all of the years that I've played at Forge, I would say it's Tristan. But this year, after just being with him for a little bit, I have to admit, Ashton's kind of he's going up there right now. He's a little bit of that jokester in the room now too, and I think he's competing with G, with possibly being one of the funnier guys in the locker.
Well, there you go. A good addition then. There we go.
It is.
And the last of the sort of rapid fire questions is, other than Tim Hortons Field, of course, what is the favorite, and let's say other than the Azteca, because we've already talked about that, what is the favorite stadium or location that you've played in?
Ooh. Are we talking in the CPL or kind of in my career?
Let's say CPL, and then just say in general on top of that.
Well,
good stadium, good atmosphere.
Well, outside of Tim Hortons Field, because that would be my number one. I would say in the CPL, maybe I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but a place that I like to go play at. I like their environment, and it's nice to play in in front of their fans. I would say Halifax. It's always. I know Forge doesn't have the best record there against them, and we're looking to change that this year. But I think just the environment there, it's nice. It's a kind of a gritty game, and their grass and always the weather and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I like those games. Those are intense games, and I like playing in front of that crowd.
Perfect. And just to wrap it up, because I know, like we said, we only got a couple minutes left now. This is my question, so I'll take the heat for this one. You don't have to answer it, but you're the first guy that I've really talked to who's really on the inside. Like, I know a couple of the guys in the front office and that sort of thing, but so I'm going to ask you this, and I'll tell you this right up front. We love Coach Bobby. Coach Bobby is a hero. We love that guy, like beyond. But I do have to ask you. So going back to the photos here. So here we go. This is Coach Bobby with my two kids right after in the championship celebration, year one. So this is Coach Bobby in year one. Not quite, but almost clean shaven Coach Bob. Year two, we got Bobby the Beard. You fear the beard. We got a Bobby the Beard. Year three, we got Sweater Bobby. He had the little sweater edition. He's in the commercial for the CPL. He's got the little cardigan tied around his neck. And courtesy of Kevin Anderson, one of the Barton Street Battalion guys, and also in the Forge group, we have Continental Bobby. So, having a little bit of fun because, like I said, this comes from a place of love because we admire and love Bobby. Like, our hearts will be broken if he ever leaves us. But what's coming up in this year with Bobby? Is he adding anything to the wardrobe? Is he going to be wearing a monocle, a top hat? Like, what's going on? Is he wearing? I don't know.
That's
He's gonna have
great.
a pocket watch like our friend over in Cavalry. Like what's he doing? He's gonna have a pipe. I don't know.
I don't know. To be honest, he's surprised me already with all these things as well. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something else happened. But in my opinion, and I think it might be also some of the players' thoughts as well. But I think we should have a little say if the beard should go or if it should stay. I don't know what the fans are thinking of. I don't know if they want to keep the beard. I don't know if they want the beard to go. But I don't know. I have
Maybe we
no.
have a vote. Maybe we make it a charity thing, eh?
There you go. There you go.
Maybe you and Kyle and can shave his beard off at center field, raise some money for McMaster Children's Hospital or
Hey,
something like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody in
I
head
think
office is listening and forward these ideas on. Who knows? Who knows? No,
there you go.
we like to joke around, but honestly, we love you guys. We love Coach Bobby. We think he's honestly, legitimately one of the best coaches around. Like it is a crime, and I'll say this. And I know Kwame, before he left Forge, said this very publicly. It is a crime that he did not get Coach of the Year yet. So hopefully that changes this year. But I wanted to say thank you again. We really appreciate you. I know you got to get going. The time that you spent with us. Hopefully we get to do this again throughout the year, just as updates as we go along. And we really, really look forward to seeing you back on the pitch, working hard at the local events and stuff. And do you got any sort of final words you sign off you want to give to the group? Or
Yeah, I mean, no, I appreciate it. Anytime you guys want to get on these calls, I'm more than welcome to. I'm excited for this year. Again, like I said before, both on and off the field. I'm hoping things can kind of get back to normal and just getting that feel of being in the community a little bit more. That first year was really, really nice, and I'm excited again. For this year. Obviously, we didn't end how we wanted to last year, but I can for sure say it's definitely a spark in us. Just looking at how this preseason is, and we're excited to kind of again have more of a normal year in front of fans and just a lot of excitement going into this year. It's going to be a good year, and I'm excited to play in front of you guys again for another year. And thank you guys for having me here. And like I said, let's we got a big year up ahead. So let's all get excited for it.
perfect. Thank you. Thanks again, Tristan. Stay healthy. We look forward to seeing you on the field. Best of luck, of course, and we'll hopefully talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye now.
Ciao.
And that was Tristan Borges, star striker, fan favorite, and you can see why. Just a great guy. Really one of the heartbeat of the team. We loved having him on. We really appreciate. Thank you to Forge FC. Thank you to Tom Walker and Nicole Demers for helping arrange this little fireside chat, little Q&A with Tristan. We look forward to talking to him again throughout the year just to see how things are going. Hopefully we'll get a few other guys on before the season starts, and maybe we'll get Bobby to shave his beard for charity. Who knows? Let's see what happens. Thank you again. As Tristan said, I want to thank you, the almost 940 members of the Forge Fanatics. This group would be nothing without you guys, guys and gals and non-binary pals, all of you. Just your participation in the group is fantastic. I just sort of organize things and you guys run with it, which is fantastic. Sharing your photos, sharing your stories in the group, getting excited, talking about the team, just showing your love for Hamilton, showing love for our team, for CPL, for football in Canada in general. The future looks really bright. We've seemed to have really gotten to that turning point where we have enough support for the game here in Canada that going forward, just more and more success coming our way. And again, I look forward to seeing you all in the stands. We'll be there for the TFC Canadian Championship match. We'll be there for the season opener. We'll be in the Bellows in 112 and throughout there. If you do see me around, please don't hesitate to say hi. Ask me about the group. Let me know what you think about it. Drop your comments below. And again, thank you all. I will talk to you very, very soon. Have a great night.
It's Forge. They are forever